Okay, so there's quite a few people who asked, how did you get started with Coco Kelly? And I think it goes back to, is it around 2010 maybe? Where a friend of mine at the time had bought some like beads from some bead shop. I think it was in the custard factory or something like that. And she'd created, I think it was some bracelets for some of her friends for some birthdays or something like that. And I thought they were absolutely brilliant and they were so beautiful and they looked, if not better than some of the ones that you'd find in the shops. And I was looking at these bracelets and I thought to myself, you know what, I reckon I could do that. So I ended up going onto eBay and finding some cheap like jewellery making sets, and I ordered that in, and I had to go doing it myself, and they ended up looking really really nice as well. And then I was showing them like to people and stuff like that, and then people were asking me to make stuff for them, and I was like, you know what, maybe I could do this sort of as like a little side hustle, or maybe perhaps even eventually turn it into a business. So I did pretty much, and I started buying more materials and stuff, started making more jewellery. I also used to do greeting cards at the time, so I was making my own greeting cards for people, and then um, more and more people were asking me about stuff, so I thought, why not try and do something with it, because it was something that I was really sort of passionate about at the time. So I created my own page on Facebook. I started designing logos. I came up with my own name. I'm not sure if anyone's asked about how I came up with the name. I'll tell you about it anyway. Basically, it was like a play on an old sort of tale of this person called Coco Pelé, and then I sort of did a play on words and changed it to Coco Kelly because I'm clever like that. But obviously my name spelt with a Y, so it didn't look quite right with the Y on the end, so I switched it to the I at the end, so it was sort of the same as the Coco Kelly, because a lot of people get confused and do actually think that my name is spelt with an I, but it's not, it's spelt with a Y. Just to clear that one up. But yeah, that's how I got started with that, and it just sort of progressed from there. I sort of branched out to learning other craft skills. I basically taught myself how to do things over the years, from researching, reading books, watching stuff on YouTube, and yeah, I've still got a big massive list of stuff that I want to try out, and I want to try and maybe do a bit more of that this year, because I love learning new skills, learning how to do stuff, giving it a go and seeing what happens. And it's fun. It's fun for me, and it's something that I enjoy. So why not do it? I would love to do it as a full-time business eventually, but it's very very hard to sort of gauge what people are into and what people are looking for, because you make some things and they'll do like really, really well at one point, and then it'll just be quiet like for ages. And then there'll be times where you make stuff and you think, you know what, I think this is going to sell really, really well. And then you make it and no one's interested in it at all. And it can be quite heartbreaking. But then you'll mention that stuff again, like a few years later down the line, and then people will be interested in it again. So yeah, it's hard to gauge what's good and what's bad, but yeah, I want to keep at it. I'm not giving up on it just yet. It is something that I enjoy. So get used to it, guys. You're not getting rid of me that easily. Okay, so Jessica asked, what is your favourite medium to work with and why? I'm not sure if I have a favourite, because as I said before, I like to learn new things, and I'm constantly finding new things to try out. I must admit I did enjoy when I taught myself how to do the work with the epoxy resin, and I was making all the resin stuff, the one Christmas for people. That was another one that surprised me as well, because I thought that that was going to go down a storm, but a lot of people didn't really seem that interested in it. So that was a little disappointing. But the resins come in handy for sort of other bits and bobs as well. So I've managed to incorporate that into some of the other crafts as well. So not just doing the resin, I used the resin as part of when I did like my crystal, the wire wrap crystal trees. I used the resin to sort of help secure them in the little pots, and to make the pots, like to put those in as well. Some people probably don't realise that I actually make the pots that the trees sit in as well. So yeah, it's a fun process. But I also like working with wood as well. I enjoyed doing like the wood burning and that, because I've always loved wood. There's just something about me and wood. I don't know if it's because of me being so sort of earthy and stuff like that, but I love things made from wood, and I like working with wood. So doing the pyrography was fun, but I had to stop doing that because I only had like a little cheap wood burning tool, and it's pretty much buggered now. So I want to get myself, it's been on my list for a while, but I've not really had the money to get it yet. Wanted to get one of the proper sort of wood burners with the proper little wire filaments and that the best people sort of use. So yeah, when I get round to getting one of those off my never-ending list of craft stuff that I need to get, yeah, I want to get back to wood burning and pretty much try out some different things, because I mean I did the wooden runes and things like that. I want to have a go at doing some perhaps some jewellery and that with that, and maybe even some like signs and things like that. So yeah, I think those are probably some of my favourites. But so I love just doing everything. I like doing my crochet, my knitting. It can be a ball ache at times, but yeah, crafting's just sort of another one of those things. It's like my garden helps me to escape, sort of, but crafting sort of helps you to escape as well, because it gives you something to focus on and it gives you something to do. And I've always sort of been a very creative person since I was little, really. I've always wanted to sort of create and do things. So yeah, I hope that answers that question. Angela asked, how's your garden going and was it successful? Yes. The garden is starting to calm down a bit now, obviously, because the autumn's coming. Was it successful? Yes and no. It didn't really help that I started a lot of stuff off really, really late. I should have started off the majority of my stuff in the March, but obviously with Mr. J passing away suddenly at the end of February, it sort of threw a huge spanner in the works, as you can imagine. So I wasn't really in the mood to do anything for a while, so I didn't start a lot of my stuff off until the May time, which was probably a bad idea. No, it was actually a bad idea. But it gave me something to sort of focus on, because I mean, I love gardening anyway. But at the time, it gave me something to sort of pour myself into, because gardening's another sort of passion of mine. I love to grow things. I love to grow my own vegetables. I love to grow my own flowers, and I love the whole process, even though it can be really frustrating at times. But yeah, I love the process of like sowing the seeds and then watching them grow, and then you get the sort of little harvest at the end of it, especially like with your vegetables and things like that. So yeah, I love that. But obviously, because the weather's been so bloody dodgy as well, and that's been all over the place, I was hoping that even though I started things off late, that I might still be able to get something out of it. But as I said, because the weather's been so dodgy, it doesn't look like I'm gonna get much out of the stuff that I actually grew, which again is a little heartbreaking, but it's my own fault for doing it. I shouldn't really probably have done it. But yeah, I've got no tomatoes or tomato plants because I didn't get any flowers. I managed to get a few peas and a few beans. My flowers didn't do too bad, but not a lot of them actually got flowers on them, apart from a few. I didn't get round to doing any potatoes this year because of having to faff around moving stuff backwards and forwards from Jimmy's back to here. But I'm hoping to do some taters next year because I like my taters, definitely. But yeah, it was a bit of a, oh, not so much a failure, because there was some new stuff that I grew this year that I haven't really grown before. So I'm gonna look at it as more of a practice run for next year. Yeah, I know what mistakes I've made this year, and I know more of the process of some of the things now. So then hopefully next year my garden's going to be busting and full of lovely things to eat and lovely flowers. So yeah, It wasn't all bad, but it wasn't great. But that seems to be the theme for this year anyway. So Gemma asked, where's the weirdest place you've ever been? In my mind. No, actually. I don't know, I haven't been a lot of places. I've not really had the funds and that to sort of travel about as much as I'd like to. Actually, I just thought of one years and years and years back. We went to Bude on the train, and that was a weird place. It was kind of like had that sort of League of Gentlemen feel to it. Yeah, a lot of the locals are looking at you like this is a local town for local people, you know, and that whole sort of vibe. And I mean, it took us ages to get there on the train, and we was thirsty, we was starving, and we was walking round and that, and it was like, oh, we'll go and have a look at the shops, because I like to look in like the seasidey shops and that, because there's normally cool stuff and little trinkets and the crystals and all them sort of ones where you walk in there and the incense sort of hits you straight away, because those sorts of places always make me feel relaxed as well. But anyway, so we're walking around and literally all the bloody shops were shut. They all had signs on saying like not open at all, or like not open till tomorrow, and was really pissed off about that. And then it's like, oh, we've got to find somewhere to eat. So our mate Basha was like, oh, you'll have to try this pub down the road, because they do like a really, really, really good steak. And I mean, I love steak. So I was like, yes, we're going to this pub. Feed me now. So then we walked down to this pub, and then we go to the pub and was like, sorry, we can't have any food because our chef's done a runner. And we're thinking, what sort of hellhole have we come into? And then it sorted us out some digs at this little B&B. And that was weird as well, because the woman that was running it, she's like, well, I've had to sort you out 2 rooms, seeing as you're not married, and all this bollocks. And you're thinking, yeah, what sort of age are we living in? You can't share a room just because we're not married. But it was like, all right, love, you know, you do what you want. But it still ended up tiptoeing across the landing in the early hours of the morning. So that was fun. But yeah, that was sort of like, do you remember that? It reminded me of that Only Fools and Horses episode. I don't know if it's is it the Jolly Boys outing one, where they're trying to find somewhere to stay, and then they're stopping that little dodgy B&B, and it had like the lightning and that. It was sort of like along those lines, yeah. So you can imagine what that was like. But yeah, that's probably one of the weirdest places I've been to. Yeah, definitely an experience. Never a dull day when it comes to travelling and seeing places. You always end up with some sort of crazy stories. But yeah, that's the only weird place I can think of that I've been to. Apart from all the weird, crazy places I've been to in my dreams and meditations, because I've seen some weird shit as well. But that was fun as well. But yeah, I hope that answers that question. Steffi has asked, where's your favourite place to recenter yourself? Do I actually recenter myself? Not really. That's probably why I'm a mess most of the time. But yeah, probably like, obviously in the garden, I find the garden helps to ground me, um, gives me something to focus on, and just nature. I love being um, out in nature or by the sea. I'm not a city person. I don't really like living in the city and the sort of areas like that. If I could live in some big cabin in the countryside or in the woods or down by the sea somewhere, I think I'd be a lot happier, um, because it's nice to have that sort of healing and relaxation that you get from being in those sorts of places. And I think that's what I could do with more probably in my life now. So who knows, I may end up living in the countryside or by the sea. A girl can dream. Yeah. So yeah, those probably help to recenter me. I love sitting on the beach and just sort of listening to the waves, watching the sea go sort of rolling in and out again, and having that sort of sea air. Yeah, I do miss the beach. I can't wait to go to the beach again. Not long to wait now though. Going again in December, so weather's going to be a bit shit, but it'll still be nice to sort of have a bit of a relaxing time. So yeah, I hope that answers that question. Lindsay's asked, what's your favourite song and why? Bloody hell, that's a hard one. I don't think I could say that I have a favourite song, because I love music and there's so many songs from all different sorts of genres that I like. My music taste is a bit like pick and mix at Woolworths, because there's a little bit of everything in there. I mean, I like classical music, I like jazz, I like the old like 30s, 40s style music, I like rock music, dance music, bit of folk, a bit of, yeah, there's all little bits of everything. Bluesy stuff, you know, techno, drum and bass. So there's too many to name. It's a very wide spectrum, so it's hard to sort of pinpoint a favourite song, because it all sort of depends on what kind of mood I'm in as well. There'll be times when I'm in the mood to listen to certain types of music, or like if I need some upliftment, I'll put like some uplifting music on. So yeah, it's hard to sort of pinpoint a favourite song. I guess one of my favourite songs is one that I've sort of grown up with, because my mum's sort of been playing it to me since I was little, and that's probably Mr. Blue Sky by ELO, the Electric Light Orchestra. It's just one of those songs where as, as soon as it starts and you got the do 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 do, it just brings a smile to your face straight away. And it's just one of them songs that you can listen to, and it doesn't really matter what kind of a day you're having. It will always sort of put a smile on my face and make me happy. And yeah, I love ELO. I say I've grown up with them, so yeah, that's one of the songs that can brighten my day. But weirdly as well, there are times where it can bring me to tears as well, which is kind of weird. I'm still not sure why that happens, but it's usually towards the end when the like the stringy bit comes on, and then they just the please turn me over thing at the end, and then something sort of triggers me, and I just feel myself welling up, and it's like, calm down, girl, pull yourself together. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a song that can make me happy and make me cry at the same time. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Mr. Blue Sky as one of my favourite songs. But yeah, I was brought up on all sorts of stuff. My parents had quite a wide range of musical tastes as well. So yeah, bit of everything, but Mr. Blue Sky always will be a tune. Okay, Shelley asked, do you like to travel? Yes, I love to travel. I just don't have the money to do it most of the time. Yeah, I do. I mean, there's still loads of places that I'd like to see. I've had a big, massive list of places that I want to go for ages. I still want to go to Egypt, see the pyramids, because I always loved like Egyptian stuff. I still want to go and see the Northern Lights at some point. I know we sort of seen like a poor man's version of it in the UK this year, which was still a magical experience in itself for me. But yeah, I'd still like to go somewhere and see the Northern Lights. I'd still like to go to Ireland at some point, because the Irish countryside is very scenic and beautiful. And so are the people. The people are a laugh, and I like the music as well. So yeah, I'd still like to see Ireland at some point. I've always wanted to go to Scotland, because that's quite beautiful as well. I always want to see Loch Ness and all the scenery there. And again, Scottish people are hilarious. So yeah, I'd like to go to Scotland. I've always said I'd like to go to Amsterdam as well. I want to see all the tulips, because they've got some gorgeous, like the fields of with the tulips and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd like to see Amsterdam. I wouldn't mind going to Australia, but I don't know if I'd be able to, purely because of all the things that can kill you there. I'm not a fan of bugs and things on the best of days, and some of the spiders over there are fucking huge. So yeah, I don't do spiders. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing the outback and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, there's loads of places that I'd like to go. I do like to see the sights when I go and visit places, especially on like holiday and things like that. I don't want to be one of these people that just ends up sitting in wherever they're staying, reading a book and doing sod all while you're there, because the whole point of going on a holiday is going there to experience what that place is all about. So I like to see the sights. I like to learn a bit more about the culture. Like to try the food, definitely, because I like my food. In case you haven't noticed. But yeah, I used to be quite boring when I was younger, and I didn't really like to try new things. But I found as I've got older, I'm a bit more open to trying things at least once, and then if I don't like them, I don't like them. I mean, sometimes there's stuff that don't really look very nice, but then when you actually try it, it tastes fucking amazing. So yeah, I'm a bit more open to experiencing new things. So yeah, I want to try and travel more. I need to get myself a proper job again. I need to save up some money, and I need to start seeing some of these places that have been on my list for a while, because I'm not getting any younger. I know I look fresh faced, but I'm not getting any younger. But yeah, I want to start experiencing life a bit more and making the most of it, because if there's one thing that I've learnt this year, is that life is fucking short. So make the most of the time that you've got, because you don't know how long that time's going to be. Yeah, so that's the answer to that question. What was the last thing to make you laugh today? Seriously. There's probably going to be some sort of dodgy bead or Joddy Cole video or a fart or something like that. I pretty much laugh at all sorts of things, and I find sometimes it could be like the stupidest or the littlest thing um, that can make you laugh. I was watching some pigeons on the roof the other day, and you know how it comes along doing the little "how do you do" little pair, and I'm sitting there watching these pigeons, and he's going "how do you do, how do you do," and trying to chat up this lady pigeon, and then obviously gets to her that starts doing the pecking her in the head thing, and then she's like, "I ain't having none of this, mate," and then she just buggers off, and then he's sitting there going, "Shit." And yeah, I mean, I'm soft. I'm soft sod, and I laughed at a lot of really inappropriate stuff as well. I mean, I could watch stuff on the telly, and a bloke could get decapitated in like some horrible accident, and I'll sit there pissing myself laughing, while other people are looking at me like, "The bloody hell's wrong with you?" But yeah, that's me, and I don't care anymore. I used to sort of lower myself and dim myself to fit in, but I'm just at a point in my life now where I don't give a shit anymore. I just want to be me, and if that includes being a bit mental sometimes and laughing at stupid shit and doing stuff that makes me happy, fuck it. That's the stage that I'm at now. I'm not going to change myself to please other people and to suit other people anymore. I'm just going to be me and live my best life. And if people like it, they like it. And if they don't, fine by me. So yeah, that was probably the last thing that made me laugh. But I'm sure I'll be laughing at something else in about 5 minutes time. Okay, so Sandra has asked, if you could choose to be anyone from history, who would you choose to be? Good question. I'm not sure if I can answer that one. I don't think there's anyone from history I'd really want to be. Can I be a dragon? They're real, aren't they? If dinosaurs are real, dragons are real. Yeah, I'd be a dragon. Go back to the time where there was dragons, so I could fly around all day, burn shit. I don't know. I don't really think there's anyone from history. Maybe Doctor Who. It's from history. I could fly around in my TARDIS all day then, travelling time and space. Yeah, I'll be Doctor Who. I think I'd be a good Doctor Who actually, or at least a good Doctor Who's assistant. So yeah, I hope that answers that one. Anne Marie asked, where did the nickname Womble come from? Well, I might as well show you actually. Hang on. I'll just go and get it. The nickname Womble comes from the Womble coat, which I've had like forever. Well, I've not had it forever actually. When did I get it? It must have been when I was at college. So that was like when I was probably about 17 or 18. And I'm like 43 now. So I've had it a while. Yes, I know. I look very good for my age. Good jeans, good jeans. Fucking Peter Pan, mate. Not literally fucking Peter Pan, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I'm aging like a fine wine. But yeah, I had it when I was at college, and then the nickname sort of come not long after that. So I used to drink down at our local, the Londonderry, which is only, well, it used to be just like down the road from where I live. And there's a bloke called Roger who worked behind the bar. And the first time I walked in there with my coat on, and he's like, all right, Womble. So it sort of stuck after that. And then every time I walked into the pub, it was just the same thing. It was a bit like, do you remember that programme Cheers years back, where the bloke used to walk in and they used to go, Norm, you know, like that. It was sort of like that. So then every time I used to walk into the dairy, it'd be like, Womble, Womble. And then obviously, like, there'd be times where I'd be walking just down the street as well, and random cars would be going past me and bibbing the horn and shouting, Womble, Womble, out the bloody window. And so yeah, I just sort of become Womble after that, and it's stuck ever since. And I still have the Womble coat after all these years. It's bloody lasted well as well, man. It's a bit battered in places, but it's my Womble coat, and I don't want to get rid of it because it's part of me now. So I'm going to be keeping it as long as I can. And it's going to be coming out again soon. Now the weather's getting a bit shit and cold. It's Womble coat weather. I look forward. It's the only thing I look forward to about the colder months. I get to wear the Womble coat because I can't really wear it in the summer because it gets a bit sweaty. But yeah, this is why I'm called Womble. Love my Womble coat. I'm going to keep it forever and ever and ever, if I can. Marie asked, what's under your hat? Because I had a hat on, because I found my hats the other week. So what was under my hat when I had the picture taken? My beautiful braid. No. Probably dodgy hair that needed washing at the time, most likely. No, there wasn't really anything under my hat. Just my hopes and dreams. So I hope that answers your question. Pam asked, how many states have you visited? None, basically. I've never been to America. I would like to see America at some point. There seems to be a lot of interesting places there and stuff to see. It is on the list, the very long list of places that I'd like to see. So yeah, 0. 0 states I visited. But yeah, I would like to see America. I can't really think of any specific places. Oh, mind you, there's like Niagara Falls, like Grand Canyon, all the beaches and that, obviously. But yeah, I like seeing the strange and unusual as well. I like to see the strange and unusual things and places, and like some of the architecture, and art, weird art pieces, and like statues and things like that. I do like arty farty stuff. Oh yeah, I hope that answers that question. Dean asked, why is one side of tinfoil a different shininess to the other, and is there a right or wrong way to use it? How the bloody hell am I supposed to know that? I don't fucking know. Maybe it's the shiny sides for when it goes on nights out, and then the duller sides for the more casual look. Who fucking knows? I certainly don't. There's probably some scientific explanation for it to do with like reflectiveness and all that sort of shit. But is there a right or wrong way to use it? Nah, fuck it. Do whatever you want. Use it however you want. Wrap yourself in it. Make yourself a little hat. Go with the flow. Do whatever you want. Who cares? Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and I managed to answer the questions that you sent in. Would have been nice to get a bit more creative and unusual ones, but I'm grateful for the ones that you did take the time to ask. So I may do another one at some point, because it's always fun to learn a bit more about yourself, and for you to learn a bit more about me, the face behind Coco Kelly. So yeah, next time I do a video, please ask some more weird questions and stuff that gets me thinking, and you know, a bit more imaginative. Take care, everyone, and I'll speak to you all again soon.